Meghan Markle's bid to get paid family leave in the US has failed after Joe Biden dropped it from his $1.75 trillion (£1.27 trillion) spending plan. The Duchess of Sussex has made a huge political move with a letter to the US Congress. In her letter, Meghan called on Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Leader Charles Schumer for paid leave for mothers. She wrote, "Over the past 20 months, the pandemic has exposed long-existing fault lines in our communities. At an alarming rate, millions of women dropped out of the workforce, staying home with their kids as schools and daycares were closed, and looking after loved ones full-time. The working mom or parent is facing the conflict of being present or being paid. The sacrifice of either comes at a great cost." The Duchess of Sussex goes on to say how she grew up on the $4.99 salad bar at Sizzler but remembered how hard my parents worked to afford it. Meghan continued, "People in our country work incredibly hard, and yet the ask is soft, for a level playing field to achieve their version of a common dream, what is fair, and equal, and right." It was one of a series of promises missing from the spending plan. Meghan, who is living in California with Prince Harry after quitting royal duties, penned a letter to House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Charles Schumer earlier in October. The move prompted accusations from some that the Duchess was interfering in U.S. politics. Meghan said she was writing the letter as a mom and on behalf of millions of American families. The former actress, who is mother to Archie and Lilibet, insisted paid leave should be a national right. The U.S. is one of just 8 countries without national paid maternity leave. In her letter, Meghan described how she started working at the age of 13. She wrote, "I grew up on the $4.99 salad bar at Sizzler. It may have cost less back then, to be honest. I can't remember, but what I do remember was the feeling. I knew how hard my parents worked to afford this because even at $5, eating out was something special, and I felt lucky. And as a Girl Scout, when my troop would go to dinner for a big celebration, it was back to that same salad bar or the old spaghetti factory because that's what those families could afford to do too. I started working at the local frozen yogurt shop at the age of 13. I waited tables, babysat, and piecemeal jobs together to cover odds and ends. I worked all my life and saved when and where I could, but even that was a luxury, because usually it was about making ends meet and having enough to pay my rent and put gas in my car." Meghan also opened up on family life following the birth of her and Harry's daughter Lily in June. She said, "In June, my husband and I welcomed our second child. Like any parents, we were overjoyed. Like many parents, we were overwhelmed. Like fewer parents, we weren't confronted with the harsh reality of either spending those first few critical months with our baby or going back to work. We knew we could take her home, and in that vital, and sacred, stage, devote any and everything to our kids and to our family. We knew that by doing so we wouldn't have to make impossible choices about childcare, work, and medical care that so many have to make every single day. No family should be faced with these decisions. No family should have to choose between earning a living and having the freedom to take care of their child, or a loved one, or themselves, as we would see with the comprehensive paid leave plan." The former Suits star, who signed off as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, concluded the letter by writing, "If we're going to create a new era of family-first policies, let's make sure that includes a strong paid leave program for every American that's guaranteed, accessible, and encouraged without stigma or penalty. I know how politically charged things can, and have, become. But this isn't about right or left, it's about right or wrong. This is about putting families above politics. And for a refreshing change, it's something we all seem to agree on. At a point when everything feels so divisive, let this be a shared goal that unites us. So, on behalf of my family, Archie and Lily and Harry, I thank you for considering this letter, and on behalf of all families, I ask you to ensure this consequential moment is not lost."